Hello and welcome to Just Us Thinking. I'm your host, Michael.
And I'm your co-host, Rebecca.
And I'm your AV guy, Mikey.
And we have what are we doing? A video mini-sode?
We're doing a new mini-sode.
All right. And this is for an experience we just had, right?
It is. We're going to do a shout out to somebody today.
Okay. So this is the IHOP.
Yes.
In Bellevue, right?
Yes, it is.
So why don't you tell the story of what happened in the first place here?
Okay, so it's maybe been at least a year.
Pre-podcast.
Pre-podcast, so
Yep.
At least a year. Maybe a year and a half. I don't know.
Probably almost close to 2.
No, I'd say more, probably not more than a year and a half. So
You think it's just a year and a half?
yeah.
Okay.
So we went to the IHOP in Bellevue. Me, my dad, Michael, and Mikey. And we just had one of the worst experiences. I think one of the cooks had just quit. I think we got there like right as he was walking out. And so of course we had no idea what was going on. So we get down, we get seated. They took our order.
Yeah.
And then we continued to wait for our order.
I think the cook was still there because we went to IHOP and I do like me some breakfast. What the hell? What was that?
I was trying not to sneeze too loud. Sorry.
You'll give yourself a brain aneurysm if you do that.
I know.
I didn't know if you were having a seizure. What the hell? You all.
I thought I could hold it in.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so
My
all right.
bad. Won't
So-
do that again.
God, I hope not. Jeez. So breakfast. I like my breakfast.
Right.
So, and I ordered hot chocolate,
Yes, you did.
I
This
was
was
like-
the hot chocolate.
and I think it was still kind of cold, wasn't it? It was just getting cold. I
Um,
like me some hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Coffee in the mornings. If it's late at night or later on in the evening, I'll drink hot chocolate. I don't like to drink coffee then. So I ordered hot chocolate, and what?
nothing. I was
It-
trying not to yawn now. Sorry.
You having issues today?
I am.
So it was syrup.
Yeah. I
Like
just,
thick.
yeah.
Like you couldn't drink it.
Was that also the time they brought it to us in styrofoam cups?
No, that was a different time.
That was a different time? Okay.
Yeah. And then it came back. I'm like, this is too syrupy. And then the next one came back and it was
Yeah.
like, it was just all water. So I don't know if it came out too syrupy.
Yeah.
And she got about halfway through and she's like, that's too syrupy, and just added water and didn't know. Which, if the machine's broken, just say, hey, the machine's broken.
Yeah.
And I get that. I understand that.
She might have not seen, noticed it. So
Yeah. So, and then, we ordered. And
we waited.
don't get me wrong. We weren't neglected.
No.
She kept coming back over and she's like, I'm so sorry it's taking so long. And she did that a couple times. And then she came back and she looked like she was almost ready to cry.
Yeah. I think we were kind of maybe starting to get a little impatient.
Yeah.
After a little bit, but
After an hour
Yeah.
that you order, and then she came over and I think maybe your dad said something.
yeah.
He's like, it shouldn't take an hour to get pancakes.
Yeah.
And she came to the table almost in tears already, so you could tell she was upset.
Yeah.
And then she apologized again. She then said the cook left and the manager was back there cooking.
Yeah.
Basically a series of unfortunate events
Yep.
was that night,
Yeah.
because then the food came out and the order was wrong,
Yep.
so they had to fix that. And then
I think it came back wrong again, and we were just like, okay, never mind. We're just gonna. Yeah.
Well, because I think you looked over and said, did you order that? And I said, no, but I'm hungry at this point and I just want to eat.
Yeah.
And I think if I remember, they either comped the whole meal, or I think they comped the whole meal, if I remember right.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I know at least half of it, but
Yeah.
yeah,
It was either half or all. I don't remember because it was that long ago.
yeah,
So now, in all this, our waitress was Taylor.
yeah.
I don't think it was really her fault. I can't blame her for any of this. Can you?
No, not really. So yeah, I mean, she didn't make the cook walk out, so
Right. And I didn't realize how much it stuck with her.
I didn't either.
Now, we don't just, we didn't have a bad experience and then say, screw it, we're never going to go back there again.
Right.
We've gone back, and
Yep.
we haven't had bad, horrible experiences. Not like that. Nothing like that.
Yeah, that's one of those places like where we go to, but we don't go often. So we
Right.
were like, okay, it's been a couple months. Let's give them another try.
Yeah, and we do that. We
Yeah.
do that. I mean, I bash on Chili's, and we still eat there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Not by my choice.
You like it too.
I said I didn't want to go last time, but she wanted Chili's.
You gave me the option. You threw it out there. If you didn't want to go, you shouldn't have thrown it out there.
My bad.
Yeah.
Back to IHOP. Jeez.
So we go back to IHOP, and I think it's just me, you, and my dad.
Oh, the second time.
The
yeah.
second time. And
Taylor's there.
we get Taylor again, and she's like, I remember you guys. She's like, I am so sorry about that last time, blah, blah. And she went on to explain, what happened again and everything. And we're like, oh, no worries. It's okay. And, she was like on point that night.
Oh, yeah.
She like everything came out really good.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow, we must have made really that bad of an impression on her that she remembers us.
Well, she remembered us, and I mean, like you said, she was
Yeah.
on point. She had everything on going, and I'm like, okay, that's she knows that we had a bad experience, and she's doing everything under the sun to make it a better experience, which was great. I loved it.
Well, and the thing is, I mean, like I said, it was at least like 3 to 4 months since we had been there, if not
Right.
more. So for her to remember 3 people from like a long time ago.
Well, so then we just go back this weekend,
Yep.
and we got it was a different waitress.
Yeah.
Taylor was in the building.
She was in the building.
Taylor was in the building, and we had the new waitress. And I remember you could tell the waitress was kind of newer. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, you could. She was really soft spoken.
Oh, yeah.
And then like you couldn't hear her, my dad couldn't hear her. So my dad's like, you need to talk louder, which I get it. His delivery could have been a little bit better, but
Yeah, the problem with that is if you're going to be in and your dad's older.
Yeah. And it's not just him. I mean, older people have a harder time hearing. You can't you've got to learn to speak up when you're dealing with.
Yeah, if you're in a front-facing server or something like that, you need to learn to speak up, because she said something, and you were sitting closer to it.
Yeah.
Did you hear her?
I didn't even hear her, and she was like standing right there by me.
Okay.
Well,
I looked over to you because I'm like,
what did she say?
and I have the ringing in the ear, so
Yeah.
I mean that bothers me, and I can't hear some higher pitch and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when she said something, I'm like, am I just not hearing that, or what's going on? And at this point, I'm looking at you to relay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. I can't hear her. And then when your dad says, I'm like, okay, it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
And then she did speak up. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I heard her that
Yeah.
time. And then Taylor was like, I could see Taylor across the room. And I think
you
she
did it.
I did. She was over on the
No.
side. She was she was on the other side.
Oh, really?
And then she was sitting down on the bench behind us.
Oh, okay.
So, and I saw her.
Oh, okay.
I know I saw her, but I didn't.
You
It didn't dawn on me that
okay.
it was Taylor.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I saw her,
Okay.
and that's when she got up, and then she started, helping.
Yeah, I think she brought our food out.
Right.
And then she was like, "Let me get your drinks for you."
right.
And then she came back with, or our server came back with the drinks.
Right. And then she brought toast.
She brought part of my meal.
Right.
Which I didn't realize I was getting. So I was kind of like, well, what is this? You know, I'm like, and then she's like, oh yes, I still work here.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no.
So then we're thinking, holy crap, what kind of people are we that, and then she kind of explained a little bit. She's like, that was like the worst night. And it was, I don't doubt it. So,
and I was like, we couldn't have been that bad.
and it was, the reality is, it wasn't us.
Yeah.
The reality is, she was there. Here's the thing. She was there. She was the only server.
Yeah.
It was late at night.
Yeah. When she
one
said
cook and one manager.
Yeah.
And then the cook left.
When she said that was the night the cook left, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I remember that night.
Can you imagine being the only server in a restaurant, and what I heard was, I guess the cook threw a fit. I guess he was working too long. I don't know. And then he said, I'm done. And he left out.
Yeah.
And I think there was a little bit of yelling. And I think she didn't know what to do.
Oh,
and
okay.
I think that kind of, that panicked her. And, she's like, I've got 3 customers in here ordering food. I can't cook food.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if the manager was like in the back, or did they have to call someone in? I don't know what happened. Obviously, it was the worst night of her life. Which is why we're going to give her a shout out, because she didn't quit.
No, she didn't. And you know what? It was one of those things where you could tell that she was genuinely sorry for what happened.
Yeah.
She remembered us.
A year and a half later, she was still sorry for what happened.
And it's that kind of stuff that makes you think that there are still, a few good people left in this world.
Yeah. I have to say, I think she was really brave that night.
Yeah.
I mean, the world was crashing around her, and she kept coming to the table. I'm really sorry. She didn't go hide in the back.
Yeah.
She kept going. She probably wanted to hide in the back.
I probably would have walked out with the cook if I was her.
and that's what I'm saying. That's why we're going to give a shout out to Taylor, because I think that night kind of showed who you were. You're
definitely.
a very, very brave person. Mm-hmm. You don't give up. You don't quit, even when everything's failing around you. You're like, okay, we got to keep going.
Right.
It's very rare that you find someone with that kind of attitude and that resilience to keep moving forward, regardless of what's going on around you.
Yeah.
So we really want to give you a shout out. That's what we wanted to do, because I think you're a really good person.
Me too. Keep it up. Definitely.
I'm hoping if IHOP listens to this podcast, I am really, really hoping that they recognize what they have in you. And I'm hoping that's management level.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I've seen managers run in less bad circumstances.
Yeah.
And here she's coming to the table and still bringing the food and just trucking along.
Yeah.
People don't do that anymore.
They don't.
So
yeah,
I have to give you applause. It's wonderful to see people like Taylor in the world.
It is. Yep.
So IHOP, give this person a raise.
Yes, she definitely deserves it. So.
All right.
All right.
I think that's a pretty good shout out, right?
Yeah. So.
I'm hoping that I see more people like that in the world. And servers are not an easy job.
No,
that job sucks.
That is one
I couldn't
job.
Do it.
Nope.
There's no way I could do it. There's just no way
No.
that you'll find me in there. I just can't do it.
Yeah. I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience for my job right now some days.
Yeah, tell me about it. So, God, it's amazing that someone like that still exists out there.
It is.
We've had good experiences and bad experiences, and that at a IHOP. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. So Taylor, thank you for actually giving a shit about your job.
Yep. And
Really.
caring. Yep.
So, all right.
All right.
So where you want to know where we're going to be found and all that
yeah.
fun stuff?
Where can everybody find us at?
We are on Facebook, Instagram, and what's the other one?
X, formerly known as what? Twitter? or
Formerly known
something?
as Twitter. Yeah.
All right. And then, of course, you can listen to us on iHeart, Spotify, Apple, YouTube Music. I can never say that right.
YouTube Music.
Amazon, Samsung, or any of your podcast players out there.
Yep. And then you could also find us on regular YouTube. We do a lot of videos on there.
We do.
Rumble is another platform for videos. And we always put up some shorts on TikTok, and we like to have a little fun on TikTok as well.
We do.
Until they ban it. So
Yeah. That might be coming soon, won't it?
I know.
Yeah.
And that's one less thing we're going to have to say at the end of the
Crazy.
show. Yeah, it happens. It's what
Yeah.
happens. So good show.
Good
You
show.
happy with everything?
I am.
Taylor, again, thank you very much. We do appreciate everything you do.
Bye, everybody.